Ha! Hey everyone, Hassan here. Welcome to the world of Ha. Today I got another Power Rangers Dino Charge review for you today. This is the Battle Sound Red Ranger. So usually the past few years we've been getting a Power Ranger, usually the Red Ranger, that will have sound effects. So this is the one for Dino Charge. And so in this case you got a button here, and you push it and it plays sound. So for Super Megaforce they had the Gimmick where you shake the thing and then it played the sounds. And now we have this one here. So I will do a comparison with the Super Megaforce ones as well. Although the Megaforce ones, I'll grab those too. Those did have like a button that you would push. So it's kind of going back to that. So you got your open style packaging right here. So it's not really collector friendly, but it's, you know, there so kids can kind of demo that button right there. The side, you got an image of the Dino Charge Red Ranger. Okay. And then on the back, so it says press for sounds. Again, if this one doesn't come with a Dino Charger, but the Dino Chargers do work with the app as I've shown before. And then you have there, so you have like an image from the show, which looks pretty cool. So it says battle sounds and phrases. It's Morphin' Time, Dino Charge Red Ranger, Ancient Power, Eternal Fight, Power Rangers Dino Might. So I don't know if that's going to be like the thing they say after they do their roll call or what. But here it is. So yeah, let's open this guy up and take a look. Alright, so I got the Red Ranger out of the packaging. Here he is right here. So let's take a look. Let's move that packaging out of the way. And here he is. So the Dino Saber that he comes with, I'll just show you real quick. Looks okay. I mean, it's not, you know, super detailed really, and obviously it's just all one color. In comparison, it seems a little small, so I would have liked it to be a bit bigger. So that's my one little gripe with that. The figure itself, it looks okay. I mean, it looks very basic, and it is pretty basic. So in terms of articulation, so the head does rotate around, not completely 360 degrees because this gets in the way, but otherwise it would be able to. But this can move up and down, so that is kind of nice. The arm will, you know, rotate around 360 degrees, but it's stuck like in this position. Whoops. And you can rotate this piece around too if you want. But it's basically, you know, and you can do that. But you can't bend the elbow. There's no elbow bending or anything going on. So you can kind of, you know, mess around and have that sort of a pose or however you want to do it. It looks a little awkward. Just the hand in that position, it limits the amount of poses you can do. I mean, you can have him like posing like he's you know on a runway or something, like ready for a fashion show, or you can have him trying to roar, but then because you can't bend the knees, you're kind of limited at that. So that's kind of unfortunate. On this side, so it rotates like that again. This piece, oops, this part does rotate as well. The legs, you know, bend about that much, and he can, whoops, keep accidentally pushing the button. And you can't really move him back too much, but he can kick forward. Like I said, there's no bending at the elbow, but the boot does rotate around. So you do have that. So I think it would have been cool if the elbow's bent, because then I could have him like bending down like he's roaring, you know, and I think that would have been cool, and this hand pose would have made sense. But as is, that just looks a little not as cool because it's a little awkward. But anyways, aside from that, obviously the main gimmick. Oh, well, actually, I'll look at the paint as well. I think they did an okay job with it. It, you know, it looks pretty decent. The one thing, like, if you start to get up close with the chest, it looks a little odd because it's supposed to be all black lines, but that's where they stuck the speaker. So you can kind of see, like, holes in the black there. At a distance, you don't really notice it. But the closer you get to it, the more odd it looks because you can start to see little pieces of red throughout the chest piece there. So that's something. You know, some people may not like that, some people may not mind it. It's, you know, up to you. But, you know, the helmet and everything looks okay. I mean, everything else about it looks pretty decent. The back is here. So there's an on-off switch as well. I should probably just turn that off for now. So just to give you an idea in terms of the amount of paint and everything. You got a darker red for the arms there. And, yeah, I mean, it looks okay. It's nothing too special, really. It looks okay. So, like I said, there's a on-off switch here. So you turn it on and it makes that sound. And the buckle here, which actually has a decent amount of detail to it, you can push and it plays random sounds. So there's various sound effects, various phrases that he says. And so let's take a listen. So there's a T-Rex roaring.
Ancient power, eternal fight. Power Rangers Dino Might.
Alright, so there's that phrase. And I don't think that's the actor that plays Tyler the Red Ranger. I think it's a generic voice. Almost sounds like the voice from the Morpher. So it would have been nice to have the actual, voice playing, but unfortunately they didn't do that. Roaring again because it is random. There's that sound. That's the other sound.
Dino Charge Red Ranger.
Dino Charge Red Ranger, and I think there's one other phrase he says.
Dino Charge Red Ranger. Ancient power, eternal ancient power. Dino Charge. Dino Charge. It's morphin' time.
There we go. It's morphin' time. So that's what it is. So it cycles through all those sounds basically. So yeah, I mean it's pretty basic, and I think the adult collector fan probably won't get too much enjoyment out of it, unless you want like a bigger version of the Red Ranger to somewhat display somewhere. But other than that, I think kids might like it because of the sounds. I think that might be kind of neat. For comparison's sake, I will grab the other ones that I have here. So here's the Megaforce Red Ranger. I'll get him standing there. And I have my Super Megaforce Red as well. So you can just see some of the Red Rangers. So in terms of, these are all like the sound effect figures for each of the seasons for the past 2 years. And so they're all basically the same height. So that's kind of neat. So if you've been collecting these types of Rangers, they all fit together, and that's actually pretty cool to have. So comparisons in terms of the gimmick, Megaforce had the same gimmick where you push the buckle.
No matter how hard you strike, we'll strike back harder.
But that actually sounds like Troy's voice. This one doesn't. So I actually kind of really dug that because it actually sounded like Troy's voice. This one just sounds like the Morpher voice. So that's the only thing there. And this one, I wish so badly that it had the same gimmick, but instead this one you had to, if I turn this on, you had to do that. You had to shake the thing. So, oops, and now the theme song's playing, so let's turn that off. So yeah, so that's, and this one actually didn't have an on-off button, so I'm glad that they added it in the Dino Charge one. Whoops. And I also have these guys as well. Whoops. My favorite one out of all of these, absolute favorite, is Robo Knight because he also has the lights. I thought that is really cool. Really awesome. And he just keeps going. But yeah, he looks amazing. Great sounds, everything. Robo Knight is fantastic. So if you want one of these sound effect figures, find Robo Knight because he is awesome. But this guy, he's okay. He's okay. There's pros and cons, and you can kind of decide based on this review whether you think he's worth it or not. But I think personally he's okay. So yeah, check him out. I think I've seen him at my local Toys R Us, and I'm sure other stores will probably get him soon as well if you're interested. But that is my review of the Battle FX Dino Charge Red Ranger.
No matter how hard you strike, we'll strike back harder.